Entering or leaving Saudi Arabia can be really hectic, and just like the thumbnail of this video has suggested, we're going to talk about my experience permanently leaving Saudi Arabia and some of the tips that actually helped me get my flight as soon as possible, as well as my exit visa. But before that, my name is the Ultimate Gorgeous, a former Kenyan maid in Saudi Arabia that finished her contract safely and got back to Kenya. I'm trying to settle down here, and I've been doing content around that. If you would love to watch some of that to feel motivated or get inspired, make sure that you subscribe to this YouTube channel, like, comment, and share with somebody else that would love to see this kind of content. In case you're new here, I think it's important that you know I've been sharing my journey since day one, my experience living Saudi Arabia, my experience settling in Saudi Arabia, and my journey living in Saudi Arabia for the past 2 years. And in case you would love to watch that, I have a playlist that is written Saudi Arabia vlogs. It has about 54 videos about Saudi Arabia, so make sure that you check that out so that you can understand how we got to this point that we are talking about today. So for me, it wasn't really hard, but it was hard in this sense. When I was about 6 months to leave Saudi Arabia, I told my boss, mostly you find communication happens around your madam, because those are the people that you are usually close to as a housemaid in Saudi Arabia. Like the madam is whatever that you know. When you have issues, you can go to the madam. Sometimes you can do baba, but mostly madams are more safer, I would say. And for me, I had a really good relationship with my madam, so I just told her that there was a possibility I may not be coming back, because all along they knew that I was going to come back, and every time when they asked me if I was going to go back, I used to just tell them yes or inshallah. Inshallah meaning God willing. So it was about 6 months for me to leave Saudi Arabia, and I told my madam that there was a possibility I was not going to be going back to Saudi Arabia because I planned to go back to school. And she was like, oh, it's okay. It didn't seem that heavy at that particular time, but as time went on and I was only left with 3 months, I reminded her again that, madam, I will be going back to school and I would love to just have my exit visa. She asked me, why don't you go finish school and then come back? I told her I am a bit older, and by the time I'm done with school, I will actually be getting married, and I don't want to lie to you. I personally told my boss, I don't want to lie to you that I'll go and come back when I am not sure that I will come back. But if something comes up when I'm in Kenya and I need to come back, I'll surely let you know. And that slided like that. You will find them, after you told them you're not coming back, you will find them, they become naggy. They start telling you like things like, we will give you salary raise, we love you, we give you food, we do this and that, and they will tell you all those things because they want to keep you. And this is because usually we are bought, we are paid for, like your boss sponsors your trip, and then letting you go means that they have to sponsor somebody else to go and work for them. So they'll do literally anything to keep you in their house, and you need to be really wise when you're getting your exit visa, because kidogo tu munaweza kosana. Some of them are really anger, some of them get angry when you tell them that you'll not be going back, and sometimes they can even change how they treat you or react to that information that you give to them. So when you're looking for an excuse, you need to find an excuse that will mostly favor you. Some of those excuses are things like your babies need you, your husband needs another baby. Yes, that is another excuse that can really work well for you. You can also say you have a land case, you are being given inheritance land and you need to be in Kenya. You can also come up with an idea of maybe land being grabbed. You just need to know some of the things that can help you get your exit and get it safely. So that being said, what usually follows after you've actually told them that you're leaving, sometimes they tend to give you like lots of work. But from my experience, for me, I was always keeping their house clean, so it was not that really heavy. But yeah, I did it. I had to clean before leaving. Like I've shared a different vlog of my last week, my last 7 days in Saudi Arabia, and you can literally see I cleaned the entire house so that I left it clean. But also, being a normal human being, I feel it like it's right for you to do that, right? Yes. Now, let's talk about packing. Packing for me, actually, let's talk about the flight that I got. They got me a 53 kg flight, Ethiopian airline. That meant I only could have carried 3 bags, 223 kgs and 1 carry-on, which is supposed to be 7 kgs. But my total kgs came as 50.9 kgs, and the hand luggage was about 10 or 12, but that was not weighed at the airport. I didn't have any issues at the airport leaving Saudi Arabia, by the way. It was really smooth. One of the other things that really helps me have enough space in my luggage is these packing bags that I used. I first of all folded my clothes, had them here, and then put them in my suitcase beautifully before locking it all up. Another thing that I would say about leaving Saudi Arabia is that my boss was really helpful. She even paid for me these people who push the trolley for you. Like, I didn't have to struggle a lot at the airport, and to be honest, I can give her flowers for that. She was supportive. She saw me off until uko ndani, and I really appreciate all that from her. Shopping, I was shopping on Shein. I was shopping online a lot, and I didn't have any issues bringing all those things back to Kenya, because when I shopped from Shein, I would remove my clothes from those Shein bags and then just pack my clothes without the Shein bags. So that also made it easy when I arrived in Kenya with the KRA people, because if you carry those clothes with those papers and you forget to remove the tags or those serial numbers, they tend to ask you to open because they think you're bringing products to Kenya to sell. So for me, that was a bit easy, and it was not that hectic for me. I had an X mark on my luggage, guys. Niliekewa X. But what made them put an X in my luggage was this tube. And they had to have me open. They even asked me, are you carrying shisha tubes or what? But I was like, no, these are just my hiking stuffs. You know, when you get to the airport, you'll find some of those people who are unpacking your things. They want to like see what to take, you know, see something, find something so that they can charge you the KRA thing or whatsoever. But for me, I was just like calm. I didn't get angry. I was answering them questions normally. They even asked me, are you coming from Saudi Arabia? I was like, yes, I'm coming from Saudi Arabia. And they were like, it served you good. And I was like, yeah, it was really good. I can't complain. So in those conversations, the one of the ladies was like, I don't think she has something to be charged. And they just let me go even with the X mark. But what made me get the X mark was this tube, but it's just a hiking tube, to be honest. Like, I don't know what they thought, but anyway, for their scanning purposes or rules at the airport, I just had to comply with that. The other thing that I want to talk about is my flight. I think I've already mentioned it was Ethiopian airline, and I got 53 kgs, which were enough. I had some extra kilos, and that also wasn't charged, by the way. It wasn't charged. It was just smooth, nothing, no questions. I just passed easily, and yeah, that was it. Exit visa, I had to get my exit visa because I was honest enough with my boss, and I told them that I was not going to be going back. I gave them my excuses. You should have an excuse, and when you give that excuse, you need to know that you have to stand with that excuse. They don't like a person who says this today and tomorrow says that. If you say this is it, that is it. You have to be sure. Before you go ask for your exit visa, you have to be sure. Another thing that I really want to talk about is, if you feel like you're not safe getting your exit, just leave. Tell them you are going for vacation and coming back, and leave. Your safety is more important. It is important, but you are entitled to that exit visa. You are entitled. Sometimes it may not come smoothly, but you are entitled to get that exit visa. Sawa sawa. Let's talk about perfumes. I carried more than 10 perfumes in my luggage, and I put all of those perfumes in my luggage bag. Zote nilizieka kwa luggage bag, so like zilikam kama luggage, and I was not charged even a single shilling. Anything else that you have, just know how to differentiate between the carry-on and the luggage bag. Anything that you have, mafuta, oil, shampoos, perfumes, clothes, whatever that you think can be charged, carry them in your luggage bag so that you can find them at the airport in Kenya. My advice to anybody that is trying to exit Saudi Arabia, you need to say and mean what you say. When you tell them and mean it. They will tend to drag, is it dragging? They will tend to nag you, but when you stand up with your decision, they eventually get tired of it. Also, when you're packing your things, make sure that you follow some of those tips that I've given you. Toa hizo makaratasi. If you have something in a box, remove it from a box. If it's something like a phone, for me, I traveled with 2 phones in my handbag and nobody asked me anything. If you have things that are in boxes, make sure that you remove them. Things that are more than 100 ml, make sure that you put them in your luggage bag. I did another video here and I told you guys how you should pack. Please check it out and learn more about how you can pack coming back to Kenya. But basically that is everything in my experience living Saudi Arabia. In case I forgot something, you can ask the question in the comment section below and I'm going to address it. And I'm really, guys, I'm so happy to be back home, to be honest. I feel so good that after a very long time, I can feel like I'm breathing. Because you know those contracts, una feelingi tu, umefungiwa mahali manze. Your existence is usually, I don't even know how we do it, but man, I'm grateful that we've done it. It's been a good time sharing this video with you guys. I'm looking forward to share more of my experiences and growth back here in Kenya. So I feel like if you really need somebody that you need to feel motivated to come back and settle back here, you should be a part of this YouTube channel, because that is all we are about, manze. Making out poverty is the enemy. We are working towards that, and I am really grateful for where I am today. I must see you guys on my next video, and thank you so much for watching today's vlog. I appreciate you and everything that you do for me. See you next time.